What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. Well, at least we see Earl training for a fight now. That's a good sign, in the right direction. At least it look like he gonna be fighting soon. I just don't understand what's the hold up in them announcing this fight or announcing that it is or ain't gonna be. I don't know if it's Crawford or who holding negotiations up. They ain't said nothing, but still ain't nothing signed yet. So in my mind, he might fight anybody whenever his next fight gonna be. But I'm quite sure, looking at, what is the second week of May? If they was to announce this fight in the next 2 weeks, I think they would at least have to wait to July. It seems like they had a fight. It just seems like June might be a little too soon unless they both been training. Earl looked like he in good shape to me. He looked good. He looked good and healthy too. So that's why I'm not sure if he completely training for a fight. His face looked real full. One thing I noticed about Earl right before a fight, he a little skeletal. He could tell he been, he been. You could tell when he been losing weight. Now that could be what he said a while back when he wasn't losing weight the right way. Maybe that's what it was, but I know he just looked, his face and everything looked real full to me. So I'm sure he training, but it don't like he, at his peak yet. But look like they got everything in the gym. He finna get real busy, and this look like a training camp. It seems like he getting ready for a training camp now. So hopefully soon he should be fighting somebody. I can't see it being no later than July. I'm doubting very seriously anything gonna happen in June at this point, man. It just seems like they ain't got enough time. Well, I take that back. I don't know, man. It just seems like that might be a little tight right now. I'm sure they gonna do commercials. A few cities tour, and they gotta train, at the same time. So that's why Floyd Mayweather used to always say you gotta stay ready, cause the phone come at the drop of a dime. You gotta be ready. Like for these big fights, it's gonna be a lot of promotion, whether they want it or not. They gonna have to do a lot of interviews and different things they're gonna have to do to promote the fight, which is gonna interrupt possibly their training camp. So I noticed that when Floyd had big fights, though I don't know if they gonna have these ain't them. They ain't having them big fights like Floyd and them had. But I know the big fights Floyd had, it was so much promotion in them. If you wasn't already in shape, you wasn't gonna have time to get in shape. Once all that gets started. So maybe that's what's going on with the guys now. They get, in peak condition before all that gets started. That way, they won't, they still gonna train, but it's gonna be different when you got all them media workouts and different, it's gonna be mandatory press conferences they gonna have to do to sell this fight, and that's another thing. I say the YouTubers gonna be real useful in this fight because you got two dudes who really don't like talking on camera a whole lot. Neither one of them is very, they more camera shy. I would say Crawford is a little bit more camera friendly than Errol. Although Errol been the one talking, I think Crawford might do a little bit better job in front of camera than Errol. I might be wrong about that, but it just seemed like that to me. But I like Errol in the fight. I always like the bigger, stronger guy, especially when they about the same level of talent. Within, bigger, stronger usually win. And I just think Earl is the naturally bigger fighter, the naturally bigger welterweight, and the way he fight, like he was saying with Frank Martin and Shakur, he was saying that ain't nobody made Shakur uncomfortable. One thing Earl is good at, whatever you used to doing, he gonna make you uncomfortable in that ring, because Earl getting in your chest, he gonna stay in there all fight. He gonna be coming all night long, and he gonna be coming with punches. Some guys stalk you just with the mental pressure, not really letting their hands go. Earl gonna be letting his hands go and stalking at the same time. Where you're not gonna be able to run from him. It's just like Floyd was telling Kell Brook, you can't run from him. You're gonna have to fight him. And we're gonna see how good Terrence can fight. in this one, we know he can box. Can he fight? Because he's going to have to fight Errol Spence. I don't think he's going to be able to just be able to outbox him. Errol is too good of a boxer for that to work, so it's going to turn into a fight, and I just think Errol, I mean, in a street fight, might pick Crawford because, Crawford was on a high school wrestling team as well, so he know how to wrestle and box, but in that boxing ring, I would have to go with Errol Spence Jr. I just ain't seen nobody that's been able to get away from him. And it's not that he's just this big gigantic puncher, but he's just a good strong puncher all night long. All night long he's throwing them good ones in there, and it's gonna take a good guy to, your arms, wherever he hit, you gonna feel it, and he not the type of guy to hold his hands, he not gonna be sitting there just waiting. He gonna let his hands go, Earl ain't scared to take a few every now and then to get his good shots off. Sometimes what you gotta do, if you want to really get in there and hurt somebody, sometimes you're gonna have to take a little bit, and Earl has been willing to do that in several fights with several different fighters. So I'm just looking forward to whoever he fight next. It'd be nice if it is Crawford, but one thing we know, he in training camp, so somebody gonna get it soon. Hopefully it's Bud, but we'll see. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, hit like or subscribe. Till next time, it's your boy Spill Dog.